TKO has made two massive deals. It started last week when WWE signed a 5-year contract with ESPN to broadcast their PLEs, their premium live events, on the ESPN networks, and more particularly their new direct-to-consumer platform, which will be priced at $29.99 a month, and it's launching in the fall. And then the biggest deal that we've been waiting for is the UFC's deal. The UFC signed a 7-year deal with Paramount to air all of their events, 30 fight nights, 13 numbered events, formerly known as pay-per-views, to get out of the pay-per-view business as a whole. It's 7 years. It's 1.6. It's 7 years, $1.1 billion per year, 7.7 total billion for the UFC. So two massive deals. I'm going to go through both, give my thoughts, give, some good, some bad, some positives, and some negatives, because there is for both if you look at both sides. But starting with the WWE, a positive and a big positive for this deal that I don't think can be speaked about enough. A big positive for the WWE deal that I don't think can be spoken about enough is the fact that going to the worldwide leader just validates professional wrestling to a level that it hasn't been at in so long and maybe never, because WWE has always been kind of frowned upon from sports fans and kind of their media, and just looked at a different way. And for them to get to ESPN and let the ESPN machine get behind WWE and promote their PLEs, I just think is a massive win for the WWE, because ESPN, as we saw with the UFC, the way they promoted the UFC the last 6 or so years, they really took it to the next level, and I think they could do a lot for WWE. And it's just crazy to see that WWE will be on a major sports network like ESPN. They're done with Peacock. We don't know where the content library that lived on Peacock after the WWE Network will go in 2026, but we do know that the PLEs, 10 PLEs in 2026 for WWE, 12 nights, 2-night SummerSlam, a 2-night WrestleMania, will live on ESPN's new direct-to-consumer platform. And it's still the details of how you get it, who gets it, is still a little up in the air. There's been some reporting that has said that if you have access to regular ESPN through cable networks, you'll get, this new platform, and you'll get the new WWE content, which is the PLEs. And they've also said select PLEs could air on some of ESPN's other networks, such as ESPN, ESPN2, and also supposedly SportsCenter could also air live and broadcast live from big PLEs like a WrestleMania, like a SummerSlam in 2026. So when you have all those factors combined from that side, the WWE side of things, it's a no-brainer. It's a clear win for them. The bad is that if fans do have to pay $29.90 a month, that is double or triple the amount of what people paid for Peacock. So I do get everyone's perspective there. I think it's a wait and to see, and to see who has to pay that. But even still, if you can get 12 nights of a premium live event for $29.99 a month, I still think it isn't the worst deal in the world. Was it better on Peacock? Yes. When it was about $10 a month and everything is included, but I just think this was maybe inevitable with the way sports are trending, and just, everything is more expensive. WWE events, people complain about ticket prices and merchandise, and everything keeps going up. So I just think this was maybe inevitable. But overall, I see both sides, but I do love the impact that ESPN can make on WWE. Moving on to the UFC deal with Paramount, and more particularly Paramount Plus, and also streaming on CBS some events. Dana White came out and said they're looking at 4 major events there on CBS in 2026, along with 13 total numbered events that used to be called pay-per-views, and there won't be any pay-per-views anymore. One regular subscription for Paramount Plus will get you access to all 43 UFC events per calendar year. It's a 7-year deal, so it's here to stay, and it's really just crazy to think that the UFC went from these outrageous prices, $75 for a pay-per-view, to now in just 5 months, you'll be able to watch every event for, I believe, the starting price and the starting tier at Paramount Plus is, I believe, $8.99, goes up to $12.99, so it's a lot cheaper for UFC fans, a major win for UFC fans, and everyone involved. The only caveat I would say is that I hope that the UFC brass continues to book elite cards and not kind of lower the level because they don't have to kind of boost cards right before they're about to happen because they need to sell more pay-per-views and to impress a company like they had to with ESPN. But I have high hopes. I mean, until they lead us astray, I still think this is a win for everyone involved. And another thing is another question that needs to be answered is what happens to the UFC champions that headline pay-per-views that used to get pay-per-view points? That was a big part of a lot of these fighters' contracts. What happens next? Do they get bonuses for views, for, ticket sales, or anything else? I really wonder what happens to them. But all around, I mean, just a massive week for TKO. They signed a $1.6 billion deal for WWE and ESPN and then followed it up with a massive $7.7 billion deal over 7 years for the UFC to air all 43 events starting in 2026 on Paramount Plus, including a couple shows on CBS, the network. So this is just an crazy week for TKO with the WWE and UFC. But overall, I'm excited for 2026, and it is a great time to be a WWE and UFC fan. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Ryan Wohl, and I'll see you next time.